You know what I just realized?
What's that?
These people have no idea who we are. Like, I know we're just like voices in the dark, but it would kind of help if they halfway knew who we are.
Maybe just a little bit now that I think about it.
Oh gosh. All right. Hey everybody, this is the introduction episode.
What? You sound so timid.
Because I'm nervous. I don't know what the people are going to think. Oh well. Here we go.
This is Mikel-Claire.
And this is Trey.
And we are the couple of entrepreneurs. We're here to share with you our journey of successes and setbacks as we enter the world of entrepreneurship now that we no longer have 9-to-5s due to the new normal of the world and the pandemic.
Join us as we race the clock to start earning money, gain consistency, and overcome self-doubts and uncertainty as we search for our voices and obtain personal and financial growth.
All right, so get to know the hosts of the show.
All right, well, I guess I can go ahead and get started, okay? Hello, everybody. My name is Trey Murphy, and I am one of the hosts of the couple of entrepreneurs. I guess my story is pretty interesting on how we got all the way to here, right? So it all started in a sunny state called California. No, for real. Way back in the day, a few years ago, I used to be in the movie industry. I used to help produce films. I've done everything from sweep studio floors to write scripts to produce short films. You name it, I used to do it. And to be perfectly honest with you, I loved it. It was the world's greatest job. I was allowed to be creative at all times. I had really good friends that were just as creative and in the same industry as me as well. So everything just kind of like seemed to flow. But as you get older and you get used to living and doing things a certain way, you kind of get comfortable, and then you kind of lose track and lose focus. And that's kind of like what happened to me. I started getting into bad habits, becoming a little bit more listless and not prioritizing things. And unfortunately, this beautiful host that's sitting in front of me had come to California to kind of help set me straight, and I absolutely messed it up, bungled it up completely because I wasn't ready, I wasn't mature, I was scared, and as a result of that, I ran my baby away. Yeah, she was gone. She was like, "Yo, you got to get your stuff together," and I'm out. Also, unfortunately, at that time, we were just starting a family, and that weighed really heavily on me. One, because I missed her beautiful face, and of course, the obvious. I was feeling guilty about not being there for our son. My father was amazing. Is amazing. Absolutely spectacular. He is the perfect example of what a father should be. Strong, a leader, leads by example, was there as much as he could be. And I wanted to have that type of relationship with my son as well. But I was still stuck in La La Land, if I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. But it's a funny thing about being forced to grow up is it puts you in an uncomfortable position so that you are forced to have to make changes. And I did. I decided that I'm going to try my best to become a better father, a better partner. And I started making visits at first. Started with just visits. I was coming out for like a couple of days out of every other month or so. And then there was a pivotal moment. After this went on for like, let's say a couple of years, there was a pivotal moment. Our son, I remember it like it was yesterday, as a matter of fact. I was on my way to the airport to head back to California because I was still living out there while I was visiting all the way out here. And I had said something in jest, and my son was like, "Why can't you just go back home?" And of course, he's a little kid, and he may not have fully thought about what it was he was saying, but I would be lying if I didn't recognize the element of truth in that. And it weighed heavily on me. And then on the next visit, it went the exact opposite way. I had a good visit. I was heading back to the airport. Son's in the car. And then he said, "Why do you have to leave?" And then that was the one that was like the grand slam. And it was from that moment, from that point, nothing was ever going to be the same again. I started moving quick, tying up business, said goodbye to friends, and gave the due signs to California and moved out to become a better man, a better person. Now, don't get me wrong. Even though I had great intentions and hopeful intentions, it still was fraught with all kinds of problems. And one of the big ones was, what in the world am I going to do to make money? Because all of the money that I was making was in California. All of my connections in California, all of my skill sets was driven towards an industry that isn't necessarily supported out here to the same extent. And then also, I'm not going to lie, I didn't want to just get by. I want to be rich. A lot of people are ashamed to say that. I'm not ashamed anymore. I want to be dumb, filthy rich, disgustingly rich. I want you to smell the swag coming off me. It's just that kind of wealth. I want wealth. And I want it because I know it can help my family and my community. And if I'm wealthy, I can help other people get wealthy. But I was clueless. I didn't have any idea on how I was going to do this. I was stressed. I was, to be perfectly honest, a new father, because I'm just now really walking down the path of what it means to be a father. I was uncertain of myself. I was working in an industry previously that fed into a disability, or I'm even gonna call it a disability. Like most entrepreneurs, many of us have ADHD, and I worked in an industry where it fed into that type of disability because it was always something new. I was always engaged. I was always being creative, and it masked the fact that those principles don't necessarily work in this real world that we live in now. And I was thrown into a real world where it wasn't like a fantasy land anymore. So I had to actually relearn how to learn. I had to relearn how to work, and it took help. I read a couple of books. I sought outside help. I needed something to center my mind before I took the next step. And to be perfectly honest with you, it took time. And I wouldn't have been able to find the success that I did if it wasn't for the foundations of my family. My beautiful queen sitting in front of me, my beautiful son, her support group with her own family. Everybody came in and was patient. Then once I got it set with that, I was like, okay, I got to actually start earning. I started doing Uber jobs, any small gigs that dealt with acting and production out here. None of this stuff was fulfilling, one, and it wasn't earning me enough money, two. So I decided that I'm going to have to go back and learn how to become a better worker. And I realized I didn't want to have a boss. I realized the only path of true freedom, the only way that I could be a better man, a better father, a better earner, was to become my own man, to earn under my own power, to be my own boss. And for me, that path was entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship would be what is it? Iron files down iron, or what, I forgot the term, but you've got to have something to hone your edge, to temper your steel. And entrepreneurship was the best course for me because it is difficult. It's not an easy thing. It's not for everyone. But if you want freedom, and I'm talking about that brave heart Mel Gibson screaming into the camera, freedom, that kind of freedom. If you want that kind of freedom, you have to become an entrepreneur, you have to march to your own beat. I hit the books. I hit YouTube. I realized that this was going to be an expensive endeavor. I couldn't go to school because it was far too expensive, and I didn't need to pile on additional debt. So I was hitting up Facebook groups, YouTube groups. I'm downloading courses. I'm on Pinterest looking for stuff. Some of the most unlikeliest places that you could find information on how it is that you could start your business. Most of the information was shallow, hollow, unfulfilling, half secrets, led me in a whole bunch of different directions. So I bumped my head a lot of failed opportunities. But then something happened. It's just one day you wake up and you have like I kind of get this moment, especially when it comes to internet marketing, when it comes to understanding the tracking, understanding your market, knowing how to sell, knowing how to pitch. And one day it just kind of like came together just enough for me to actually make a profit. And that's all it took. It just took that one little spark to justify all of the hard work, to justify the change, to justify the sacrifice, because it is going to be sacrifice, ladies and gentlemen. So now I realize that this power, this ability to better yourself by pulling yourself essentially by your own bootstraps, this is something that anybody can do if they're willing to put in the work. This is the type of stuff that can rebuild communities. This is something that can help inspire somebody to leave that old 9-to-5, to leave hating waking up, going to talk to a boss that doesn't respect them, or to not earn enough money in order to achieve the dreams that you were destined to have. This is the reason why we decided to come up with the podcast, so that you can see it's okay to make mistakes, because I promise you are going to make a ton of mistakes. If there's one thing I can promise is that, but I can also promise that if you stay the course, if you're willing to get hit on the chin and take one for the team, dust yourself off and know that these mistakes are nothing but opportunities to get it right, you can be a different person. You can get rich. You can build wealth. So, by all means, watch us bump our heads. Watch us make these mistakes. Celebrate when we have victories. We'll all tip one back together. But just know, whoever it is that's listening to this, I understand your frustration. I get your pain. And just know you are not alone.
All right, now, Trey, hold on a minute now. There are two sides to every story, and I respect and appreciate what has brought you to this point. But I, too, have a story. But, of course, because your long-winded self.
My bad. I'm sorry. I felt the spirit move me a little bit.
Yes, you did. So, now I have to wait until the next episode to even begin to tell the true story. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
My side of the story. My side of the story. But no, I really want people to know who I am as well, because now they have a true inside story of who you are and what got you to this point. But now it's my turn.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I'm sorry I was long-winded. But you know what it is? What we're doing is we're saving the best for last.
Oh. You sure know how to how to talk to a lady.
I'll see. I hope y'all are taking notes. All right. Well, thank you for listening to me. You get all long-winded. Tune in to the next episode so that you can hear the full-blown real deal story, because this one was loosely based on a true life story. Now let me say that.
It was true.
No, it was definitely true.
It was true.
It was definitely true. I just feel like I have to say that because they always put that stamp on all the like the documentaries and biographies and stuff like that. Loosely based on a true story.
Loosely based on a true story.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go ahead and get Denzel to play me.
I don't know.
No?
I don't know about that.
Okay. It would have to be like a hologram Denzel, because he's kind of old now. Yeah.
Well, let me tell you, Denzel ain't got nothing on you.
Hey, you know what? And we gonna end it on that note. Y'all take care. We'll see you on the next one.